What's up, guys? This is Heis, and welcome back to 2.8 Tuesday. Once again, we're going to be working on the 3D model of the 282 K37 for Century of Steam. As always, all super chats and shenanigans that happen on the stream side of things support me. They don't directly support the video game company, but we all agreed that that would all be a good thing, and that I could show off more workflows about working on more things. Before we jump right into the model today and jump into Discord and say hi and all those things, I do have a couple shout-outs to make. One's rather entertaining, and one is not to this cat. Hi, Zeus. He heard me talking and decided to say, hi, I'm going to come be in the way. Is that all right? Yep. Yes, please bang into the microphone, buddy. Dishushi poo. Yeah, it's time to annoy Dad. What else is new? It's vaguely a couple hours to their dinner time, therefore they've never been fed in their entire lives. Whole thing. At least his brother is just chilling on top of the tree all by himself, where Zeus is trying to knock everything I own over on my desk. But my fault for having things on a desk. So, anyway, to the shoutouts. First and foremost, to Discord user Man of Steel 5280. It is their birthday today, so happy birthday. And their wish in content and suggestions was for Mikado Monday or 28 Tuesday, so we're here. Congrats. The other shoutout being to fan of the channel Alex, who I don't know if you watch the live streams or not, but it's not often I encounter a fan in the wild, like, not at a train event. Like, go to a train show, go to where a train's running, not surprised. I expect that. When I'm going to a nail salon to have a pedicure with my girlfriend as, like, a cute little date thing, literally the last place on earth I would expect a Heist fan. So shout out to Alex. It was great to meet you and chat with you briefly. Obviously, I was mostly just perplexed at the fact that I was having that encounter that day, because I've not had one in a while, and at a nail salon. That was quite funny. Anyway, on to model things for today before I do top chats and get into the Discord. Jesus Christ, cat! Zeus is going to be the focus of my attention, unfortunately. Last time, which was the last stream, I want to say that I did, obviously Brett and Leighton streamed while I was gone, which is very appreciated, and I watched the VOD, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that too. Last time we were working on the 6ET plumbing, and guess what? I've not opened Blender since then, so I figure we'll just continue on with some more of that and see what we can get into and solve there for the model. I've only got a couple hours to stream, which is why the stream's a little earlier than usual, because I'm going to be seeing Brett and Leighton later tonight, before I have yet again more travel for another wedding. Tis the season, apparently. But anyway, we're going to be getting into that today. Now, let's take a look-see here. And see what we've got. Top chats from Physicist. Right away, Engineer 43 months. Good to see you. 7 Kenoshas in 40 minutes. Someone take this Burb's Loco privileges away. To my credit, the Dinky accelerates very quickly, and I was not expecting that. 1. 2, it's been so long since we properly played Railroader that I was looking around at things, trying to figure out what to do, and not paying attention to where my train goes. So, and 3, I think it was on brand, so sue me. It's fine. Train Spotter 454, it says, sent press F for 10 joules. What are joules? Did they add another thing to this platform? I guess we'll figure out what that means, perhaps, at some point. It's fine. It's fine. And Glenn Holland! Good to see you, buddy. Welcome back to the world of digital modeling, joining you from afar and waiting on lots of Lego in the mail. Hope you're well. Doing better this week. I didn't stream last week because it was a bit of a challenging week, as it were. But sometimes that is what the return to reality turns into. Also tax season and all those other fun things. So, anyway, today we're going to get into that 6ET plumbing. We have a stack of fittings that are just sitting out here. Oh, that's right. Those are fittings that I stole from Dan that are a part of the distributing valve. Okay. I'm going to jump into Discord, and we've got both an Eric and a Zach hanging out in the dev Discord today. So,
Hello.
Hello.
I will not be here long.
Well,
which
fair
is
enough.
important.
I have about 2-ish hours and some change, which is enough, but not much. Discord, I would stream to... Oh, there we go. It's like, let me make sure that you guys can see what's going on, too. All right. 6ET plumbing. God help us. I was like, what is that pipe? Oh, that's the Johnson bar reach rod. So we don't have a Johnson bar yet, because that sounds scary. Remember that I'm not entirely a novice Blender user at this point, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any means, and there's always more to learn. So, yeah. I see a couple more top chats have come in, folks celebrating their membership anniversaries. I want to cut some pixels, and we'll get back to those in just a minute. So, thanks for bearing with me. Let me pull up my references. So I've got our 6ET diagram, which we talked through probably last stream, if not the one before, and then a number of pictures of exactly how 91's pipes are set up. And I kind of want to get this stack of 3 here finished up, because last time we did the driver brake pipe, the brake cylinder line to the drivers, which goes up through the mountain cock and then heads to the brake cylinders up at the front themselves. But now we've got the brake pipe and then the main reservoir to contend with as well. So I think I want to start there, and we'll go from there. What are these? That's a lot of vertices, my dude. How many vertexes? Like, is that? Well, I guess that's a big pipe, but I guess we will grab this. Oh God! Remember the hotkeys. It's been this long. Cursor to selected. We will add a cylinder. Yes, a cylinder of that size. How about not? And we'll make it 8-sided because it's going to become a pipe union. And we want to rotate on the X90. Look at that. All right, we vaguely remember things. Yeah, I've not opened Blender at all since the previous stream. If you haven't been paying attention to my members' first content uploads, you'll note that I have been on the warpath, getting as much YouTube content set up and slotted out as I can recently. Oh, shoot. I looked at this wrong. We want a union half around the corner. This is a union elbow, so the first start of it is just an elbow. Oh, we could still reuse that. Anyway. So we need to make something to connect to that. And we deleted that face, like, because, you know, we thought we needed to. That's funny. Oh, well. All right. Ktunk, ktunk. I insets. Again, this is one of those. We should really have a standard pipe fittings library. But also at the same time, like, slightly different manufacturers of pipe fittings. They're not always the same. So, and depending on when they were cast and blah, blah, blah. There are always stupid, subtle differences. And wow, that looks awful. Because the vectors. Because of that thing that Blender does. Alright, so then we can delete that face, and then what we can do is... Oh, hang on. Before we delete that face, we can put our 3D cursor on that face, delete it now, and we can just do that, and now we can go selection to cursor. Uh-oh. We can't be on that. Do we do individual origins? Is that? Because that moves all of the vertices to the thing. It's fine. Yeah. There's a better way to do that, but we, you know what? We'll just do the thing. Alright, it doesn't look like it's terribly much larger than the rest of it, which is great, so that's pretty good. That'll be our union half. We'll inset to make the next bit. And we do need to end up larger overall than the pipe back there, so I actually probably should make this larger in every way but the X. And then same for this, except not grabbing those extraneous faces down the line. Joys of getting a perfect side-on view like that. S, Shift X. Yeah, there we go. All right, so there we got a Union elbow. Does it really? No, our blowdown. Hang on, I gotta take a look at a picture. Then we'll get to top chats. All right. Wow. Wow. Wow, the pivot for the blowdown is so wrong on this side. Did I just copy it from the other side? Probably. Okay. So what we're taking a look at is, surprise, 491 was getting repainted. When I took my last reference pictures, you can see that the end of the blowdown linkage comes back, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 rivets. Yes, we're counting rivets, sorry. 7 or 8 rivets-ish back from the corner seam there. And then the pivot, you know, goes over a little bit. And then we're at considerably a different angle there. And what I have is considerably not that. Yeah, this is probably just the fireman's side copied over and rotated. And not quite right, because rather than being like 7 rivets down, it's actually like at the seam. So yeah, we need to take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. We want to be like more over Heresville. And then for that whole dealio, we want to be like a little bit more rotated. And we'll fix the issue of leverage in a second there. Okay, we want that. We want that. Because that is kind of up at the crux of that. All right. We don't want to touch the handle yet. Get that. Yeah, and then this is a little bit aft of the seam, so and that explains why this blowdown handle comes up into the cab all kinds of goofy by the engineer's feet. God, this is going to be annoying to animate someday. It's fine. I didn't pull up the picture of the interior where that blowdown handle comes in. Let me fix that, and then we will take a look at the top chats. Yeah, okay. Got it. It just ekes in right there. So you can see that armrest and everything was off, and Jeff was doing a bunch of work to fix old rotten cab, but you can see that the blowdown lever is raked back, and that's the handle right there, and it sits considerably low.
That engine, it's fully repainted now, right?
Not exactly fully, but mostly.
Great. Okay. Is the boiler still green?
I believe that's the one thing that has not been touched, which is mildly entertaining. I'm worried about saying too much because I don't want to totally spoil Jeff's everything, because he doesn't like it when I get to talk about all the cool work he's done, because he likes to get to share what he's done, which is fair. I get it. Yeah, I don't know. She did run last weekend, so or not last weekend. She ran while I was gone, so presumably there's pictures of it. But yeah, she's got the 16-inch. She's got the 16-inch numerals. The cab's all like so shiny black it hurts. and the tender's repainted. But yeah, the jacket, we knew we needed to get her in service before Colorado Crossings, which I will be missing, RIP. For a much more important thing personally, your partner's sibling's wedding is kind of key. It's just funny that I now have 2 nickels of the 2 times I've gotten to miss crossings because of that, because of weddings. But hey, the wedding's more important. There will be more times to have steam train things. Oh, good Lord. Don't do whatever you're doing. Let me see if I can pull up an picture for you, because I'm pretty sure there was a good picture in the group chat somewhere. Maybe? If it's easy for me to pull up a picture, I will.
Okay.
If not, I might not. But I want to say that Dusty was sending, Dusty and Jeff were sending pictures because they've been, spoilers, doing a lot of paint work recently. And I won't share some of the other painting that they've done because I don't think that's actually debuted. Okay, yeah, there we go. So this is how Peaches looks right now. Photo courtesy Jeff Taylor. So, flying grand on the tender. Tender's nice and black. The cab's been repainted. The jacket, I mean, if you don't clean the jacket, guess what? It looks vaguely black anyways. So, spoilers. But that'll get repainted at some point. It was just the thing of okay, to properly repaint that, you have to go through and do so much, and we didn't have the time, and needed her back in action. So I do love the big numbers. I miss
the 16-inch numerals are a vibe.
Yeah, because in the previous appearance she had the 12-inch instead of the 16-inch, because that was what they did in the 30s, which was kind of her previous appearance, and now she's moving much towards her 50s appearance, which honestly mechanically makes a lot more sense for the locomotive anyways. But yeah. All right. Top chats. Now that we've fixed the blowdown position more or less, hopefully. Let me just double check that. The rake angle on that handle is not quite where I would like it. So let's just... All right. And that's going to largely be out of the way of those pipes that need to swing around. Oh, those pipes need to extend quite a bit. Okay, cool. That should be much more better, a drawing of a key. Anyway, goodness. Hello, Top Chats. Wow. Apparently, OBS is not deciding to do the ding-dings for member chats. Because there's been quite a lot of the free member chats in the top chats. All right. Let me blitz through these real quick. ZW8919, Brakeman 20 months. What type of coal does 491 eat? The tasty kind. Specifically bituminous coal, typically from the King Coal Mine in Hesperus, Colorado. Soccer Gaming 0459, welcome to the ES&D Engineers. Thank you very much. That's always very appreciated. Yeah, you guys are my bread and butter. Thank you so much. Powertrain Thing, engineered 39 months. To be fair, what's the point of having a repair shop if you don't wreck a few engines for it to fix? I like where your head's at. Yeah, exactly. The point of the shop is so that I can crash the trains. Exactly. I can't speak for Jersey because he is here, but that last session of Railroader was some of the most fun I've had playing a train video game in a long time.
That was incredible.
That was just, the vibes were immaculate, which it's a return to form. The video will be out for non-channel members, the first episode, I think on Thursday this week. I've gotten so much content scheduled that I can't keep it all straight without staring at a graph. But anyway. Okay. Conk. Let's see. Trainman 4014, conductor 15 months. You just got the Steam controller and it's all the hype. I've heard they're supposed to be good. That's cool. Good to hear your review. Fuel Fire, Brakeman 26 months. What exactly makes the K37 trailing truck shit? Well, let's see. It's approximately 50,000 meters away from the last drive wheel, which means it's got a crazy lever arm. And then it's got God's largest firebox that it has to support over it. And then they didn't put enough space in between for the actual springs to be the proper size to really carry the amount of weight they were asking it to carry. And then they fudged the numbers on the back of the napkin to make it work. In short, it is a K28 trailing truck that has got a much longer pivot and a much longer set of levers and everything, that is asked to be carrying a firebox that is approximately 40% larger than a K36 firebox with a smaller trailing truck. You see? Yeah. And then there's no space and everything's in everything else's way because the ash pan is just non-existent. So, yeah. To the point that I want to say that some of the Durango guys, when they've had to do work on the trailing truck on the 93, go, I don't know how you'd do this if it was still a coal burner with the ash pan, which is mildly hilarious. But anyway.
I'm back.
I'm going to have to head out. I got to go to work.
Alrighty, Godspeed.
Oh, see ya.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Chainbreaker 5063, conductor 20 months. 20 months, blessed piston rods. Yes, holy be thy stroke. Shrug. Use 484, fireman 34 months, just had volunteer orientation last Saturday. Hell yes. Thank you for bringing back my childhood dreams. Furthermore, thanks to you in Jersey, you're seeing AC/DC live in July. First live concert ever. Rock and roll. They were my first live concert ever when I was on my first day of high school. I got to go see AC/DC as my first concert.
Now that I'm staying out here, I kind of am trying to see them at MetLife later this year.
I think there's still tickets for them playing at the Broncos Stadium in July. God, that would make for a great day. I think it's literally the day that the big boy comes to Denver. So go see the big boy, go see AC/DC, Lizard the day. Maybe that's the thing to do. Obviously, I've seen him 3 times.
And you don't even need to travel.
Yeah, and I don't even, thank fucking Christ. Sorry, that was my outside voice. I'm a little over all of that, but what are you going to do? Anyway, I'm not sure if I'll see him or not, because I've seen him with Malcolm. I've seen them, and I know that the previous times I saw him probably going to be better than this time. But I still kind of would like the nostalgia kick, so maybe I'll go. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how a lot of things financially turn out this summer, probably, for me. But anyway. Jamie the 7F could use that engine on Train Simulator Classic. This, I'm not planning on implementing it for Train Simulator Classic, and I have no idea what the workflow is for that. So, likely not. Train Spotter 454, I don't know what the gems are. The panel appeared, then disappeared after I used it. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, you sent 10 of them for pressing F, and I don't know. Yeah, I think that might be a Stream Elements thing. That might be a YouTube thing. Who knows? Slandered Stone, Fireman 37 months. Howdy, Mark. Hope your day's been good. Colorado Crossings this weekend's going to be tits. Every single FNCC locomotive left in the world? Question mark? In one spot?
No.
I was going to say I don't think it's all of them, because that isn't that Uinta engine that's
the other one.
That's the other one that's out at in Nevada. Yeah. So
I've seen that one. Does that mean I've seen every I have seen every surviving FNCC engine, because I went there years ago. That's
neat.
Weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like, I'm pretty sure there's at least one more, but yeah. Teru 278, Brakeman 3 months. Lizard. Also 1K37 kitchen again. God, I need to stop avoiding the Colorado Railroad Museum like the plague with my travel schedule, unfortunately, to film something. I'm not sure. Maybe this summer sometime we can do another episode. It's been challenging to find the motivation to do it after my sponsor canceled me. So, anyway, we shall see what it is. Ty Daily, Engineer 41 months. Good to see you, Ty. He's back live and in living color. Nice to see you refreshed and enjoying content again. That has been a big nice thing. A bumpy ride's been very helpful in that. The game's awesome. We'll be hopefully meet you again in the Railroader sessions, but gotta wait and see if time zones / work schedule plays nice. # duck for dinner. Yes, indeed. We're gonna have to see. It's gonna take us a minute to make it where members' sessions make sense. So hopefully that's sometime soonish, but for now, we're going to make great content and enjoy the shit out of it as the friend group and kind of see how that goes from there. And then we'll get into member sessions because I do want to support that because those are fun and different and separate and a whole thing too. But to me, the best content comes from the chaos of this tight group of, orange cats all together all at the same time.
Would you rather have unlimited Pacifics but no money? Nice going. I saw something crash there. Or Pacifics. Unlimited Pacifics but no Pacifics.
I don't understand this meme. But yes, that. I think unlimited Pacifics. Why not? William Adams. Conductor, 28 months, good to see you. Upside down, time zone friendly stream. We are extremely lucky. Enjoy some Australian export Baldwin mics in Train Crew VC. Seeing how many of these I have to get through, my friend, I will take a look at them, but not on stream. Maj Thade, engineer, 39 months. Hey, Heis, it's Guys. Glad to see work going full steam ahead. Also looking forward to catching some of the ES&D in another railroad session. Yeah, it's been a shit show so far, so I hope it will continue to be. 94 Chevy, conductor, 30 months. Where are the brakes on this crazy train? Jersey! I know you took them off. LOL, here's to another 30 months on the
I was good in the episode, all right?
I was going to say, Jersey was probably one of the better engineers. I was hands down the worst. But I also...
Oh my god, yeah!
I also didn't care. The double Kenosha with the dinky was... I'm so used to everything in that game just being so slow to get up and go that the little thing with the little drivers is like, oh, we'll just bang into the cars again, and bang into the cars we did. And that was great. Darknet 96, Brakeman 38 months. Zeus, I require the brake pipes of Olympus. Is he still here? No, he's fucked off because I didn't, pay attention to him. Hades is still here, though. But anyway. Conktech, Connector 21 months. Aha! I've caught a stream again. And what's this? He's streaming at a reasonable hour. Lizard. Here's to 21 months, 3 to go. Yeah, a reasonable hour, I guess. Well, it's because I have dinner with Brett and Leighton. I had to stream before dinner, so what are you going to do? Iron Train, Engineer 20 months. Carl, wake up. Howdy, Birdman. 20 months, huh? So many more to come. Chat just jumped. Why you do this? Okay, oh goodness. We have so many more top chats. You guys are so kind. Thank you. I guess I haven't streamed in a minute, so I should have expected this. Hopefully getting your wisdom teeth removed won't hurt so much you can't play with scale trains. Yeah, hopefully not. I'd never had my wisdom teeth out. I still got all of them, somehow, knock on wood, and I've managed to survive with that, so... yeah, hopefully it's not too bad for you. Dat Guy Miller, which engine at the Colorado Railroad Museum would you say is the most difficult to operate? 20 hands down. And of the engines not at the museum you've operated, which was most difficult? Probably the J&L 58, that 2-foot gauge porter. Talk about a throttle that was nearly binary. And to be fair, that's like running a steel mill engine that was designed to be like, hey, let's pull, tons and tons and tons and thousands of tons of steel. On-off throttle's fine, but when you're pulling one passenger car with a crazy little railroad and the throttle is off or on just about, yeah, that one in that use case was the most challenging, but in its original use case made sense, of course, right? So, definitely interesting. Yearly Gymnast 98, Fireman 41 months. 41 months, love the first 2 season 2 episodes of Railroader. Day 0 to 2 report. I saw this already. Did somebody give Yearly all the information from the save, or did you make shit up? That was my question when I saw it. Yearly did a report for season 2 in the ESNDT reports channel in the Discord. And I'm like, oh, did somebody give Yearly the status of everything, or did they make stuff up based on what they could see? Shrug. Anyway, day 0 to 2 report. 2 at 0%, 112, 0%, 200, 0%, 998, 0%. Shit's fucked, boss. Signed, Yearly Gymnast 98, operations consultant. I can wholeheartedly agree that shit's fucked, but you didn't give us the status on our Chinese Pacifics. We don't have unlimited ones, but we do at least have 2. So,
Oh, we should put up a poll in the chat. That should be our democratic vote. Unlimited Pacifics.
Would you rather have? Okay, I don't think I can do the full things because the text count. Would you rather
Pacifics
have unlimited
Pacifics
Pacifics
but no Pacifics, or Pacifics but no money? Like, that's the two options.
Unlimited Pacifics but no Pacifics. Unlimited Pacifics but no money.
Yeah, that's the...
Wow, we can actually get we can get those options both to fit. Yes. All right. Now asking the viewers, would you rather have
vote unlimited Pacifics but no Pacifics. Vote unlimited Pacifics but no Pacifics. That's the one to hit.
It's fine. It's fine.
The other one means that we don't do the funny. So pick the funny option.
Good. Let's see. From Brickman Beans. Hey Beans. Connector 4 months.
Beans is here. Hell
the
yeah.
493's engineer side blowdown valves outside of the cab, so it's interesting to see you model it inside the cab. I wonder. I did take a lot of pictures of the 493. I wonder why. Because I will have to make an oil burning arrangement for this at some point. Let me take a look. I know that you guys down in Durango have been changing from the original Okady blowdowns, which 491 and 20 and 346 still have, because of a very good operational reason. You can't get parts, and they're not simple to manufacture parts and things, but this is the Okady style. And we thankfully had enough spares to kind of keep us going for a while, but I think we're actually going to change to the everlasting ones as well. But the levers on the everlasting blowdowns are different because the way that they're set up, and I want to say that 93 did get the everlasting blowdowns, and that would have changed the geometry, though I don't know if she would have had the lever outside the cab before she had the everlastings. I don't know. But let me take a quick look at pictures, and we will see what we can find for the beans. Let's see. Man, I've got so many pictures of that engine, and it is blown apart, at least when I was there. Fireman's side on the 93 is an everlasting blowdown. And it's got that kind of... Oh, wow, her levers are different, though. That's interesting. But maybe that's for the everlasting again. And, of course, did I not take pictures on the engineer's side? I don't think I took pictures on the engineer's side. What else is new? But I would wonder if it is the difference in manufacture of the blowdown, and that's something that you guys did. Let me search, because I do have... I have lots of pictures of the 93 before it was restored. I wonder why. She didn't have... She had linkage like 91 on the fireman's side, but no blowdown. Would you rather have linkage but no blowdown? Or blowdown but no linkage? Oh, how funny! Or blowdown but no linkage. She has a blowdown on the engineer's side, but no linkage running to it. At least that I could see. That's mildly hilarious. But do I have a picture from under the cab? Because this is going to be something that I potentially have to consider for the 3D model. Maybe, maybe not. You know, it's like, you feel like you crawl across these locomotives and take pictures of literally every single piece, and then you just find that you didn't. It does look like, with the way the pivot is right here, it looks like that's on the fireman's side. Oops. Do I have an engineer's side shot? Why would I take an engineer's side shot? That's annoying. Just my overall...
Yeah, why would you ever do that?
Why would you take... You know, locomotives are the same, obviously side to side. There's no need to photograph both sides of them. They're symmetrical perfectly in every single way. For legal reasons, that is entirely sarcasm. It's hard to tell if there is one of the levers for pivoting back there, 'cause she's missing all the linkage to the blowdown. I can't confirm, but my money would be that she had it that way previously and no longer does. Anyway, long story long. Hopefully that helps, Beans. Normal Caboose, Brakeman, 8 months. Hi, Mark, what's your go-to dessert item? I am not that much of a dessert human. I really don't tend to get dessert all that often. And I'm weird and I don't like chocolate.
Oh, what the hell?
Did you not know this?
I can't trust you anymore. No.
You didn't know this? Yeah.
No.
When I was a teen, something changed, and chocolate went from being something that I loved to something that I just kind of detest. Like, I could have a little fun-size chocolate bar that's not entirely chocolate, and any more than that, and it's disgusting. And, like, not quite want to puke.
How
disgusting.
Can you not enjoy, like, Reese's?
I can have the correct, like a Reese's. I can do one. There's enough peanut butter and not enough chocolate that it balances. But anything more than that, like if I were to eat a second Reese's, it would be gross. Like anything more than that amount of chocolate, and it's yeah. Anyway, so I guess I don't know. Generally, probably just in true lactose intolerant fashion, ice cream. Usually just straight vanilla or strawberry because I'm boring. The amount of great gelato and ice cream we had on the trip, being in Italy and Croatia and all the places, and like by and large I'm like strawberry and vanilla, fuck me up, you know. That's call me very plain in that way. Jordan Freeman, conductor, 38 months. You're gonna see the big boy in Scranton. Good lord, God help you.
God help you.
That is gonna be foam-mageddon. That's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna miss it at Scranton, but I'll see it with the 2102. But you'll also be visiting Strasbourg again, and you're gonna be spending 2 whole days at Steamtown with 4014. Enjoy. That's gonna be cool. I'm like jealous that I won't see it, but I'm also kind of happy that I don't have to see it. So anyway, Highball Machine Works. Will we see Marion shovels as loads or MOW stuff? If I get my way, yes. Marion shovel and a Huber traction engine, you know, feels like it makes sense. We'll get there.
You model it then.
Well, I'm probably going to have to at some point, yes. Which is why I say if I get my way, yes. It is just the question of when is that going to be important to model, and the answer is not anytime soon, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? 75 horse case. Hey, dude. Hello. Hopefully everything's going good. Got 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts up here today. That's pretty windy. It's been hot out here recently. I had to get the swamp cooler running again for the season because it snowed cheese last week. And now it's no longer frozen, and now it's hot. So what are you going to do?
Why is Chad asking for my waffle iron? You're not even in the bathroom. That got you. That got you.
Jersey's waffle iron. Is that how deeply esoteric we've gone with your appliances? We need Jersey's waffle iron. Christ. It's great. Jordan Freeman, could I recreate Jimi Hendrix's Star Spangled Banner performance during Woodstock? Maybe play it Memorial Day or 4th of July. I can play Star Spangled Banner. I don't actually know it, and every time I'm like, intervals, I'll probably play the right note, and I usually make it through it. Sometimes I mess it up because I haven't bothered to actually learn it, but can I do it like Jimi Hendrix? No, and I'm not going to use my mouth on my guitar. So anyway. Railroader Davis, engineer, 42 months. Howdy Heis, hope you're doing well. Love the content as always, and the new Railroader series is great. Might be acquiring a steam traction engine here soon. Nonsense will ensue. Well, we love that for you. Congrats. Jack Neiman, the Rail Fan, conductor, 7 months. Hi, Mark, you've been loving all the content lately. Also, it's been a while since I've asked this, but can you please react to 1964, The Train movie? I need to watch that movie and enjoy it for myself at one time at the very least, and then we can do content about it, because I still haven't seen it. Christ. Anyway. 75 horse case. Let me know the price of the wood for the sponsorship. Somebody's got to hook me up with a hardwood guy. Like, we got to be able to, like, advertise for somebody and get a bunch of hardwood to do brisket in the smoke box. Anyway. we'll get that figured out one of these days, hopefully. Hayden Hinchcliffe, Brakeman, 4 months. Hey, Mark, what is your favorite guitar? Who's your favorite child? It's hard to pick. Generally, the Gibson SG as a platform, but to pick between the three of them that I have, very blessed. It's picking your favorite child, so I can't. The blue one is probably my number one, but that's just because of the way it plays. It's not necessarily I like it more than the other two, but it's the one that I end up that's the number one on stage. So anyway, Heartclaws 484, would I ever consider playing Railroaded with intentionally weird controls for the chaotic energy of it, or with a weird controller? I will play with a Rock Band guitar. Let's do it. Why not? That'd be funny. Yeah, we could do something like that. Average RPG character, Fireman, 32 months. Tomorrow officially starts your construction of your own 30 layout. It's downhill from here. I've been meaning to do episode 0 about my SN3 layout, and it's just not ended up being a priority. And now it's really not the correct season for model railroading things. You're supposed to do outside stuff in the summer, right? But we will probably get that started on my end soon too. So I'll meet you there in the madness. Colonel Cactus, Fireman, 47 months. Wow, 47 months, not much longer until 4 years. You look forward to the next 4 years. Cheers. It was great to see you at the show, by the way. And very happy for you getting to do engineer things. Bowser, 5678, conductor, 28 months. If I were to describe that particular episode of Railroader, it would be Heist and Dinky being a Koopa shell constantly bonking into coin blocks. Yep, it's pretty accurate. Treewalker 93, engineer 23 months, Carl slacking on the job, Soup the turtle, what else is new? BO 7611, fireman for 34 months, another day with another K, great to catch up stream again, keep it up Mark, Great Jersey Unlimited Pacifics, and commit tax fraud, LOL. I have
Pacifics won, dude.
I have seen
It won.
but no Pacifics. But I guess that means
the option.
That means we get money. Okay, I see.
You get money. See, you follow. You see, you're starting to see it now.
I have seen two great arguments for either side. One, narratively, for the sake of the story and what we're trying to do with the save, it feels a little wrong to do unlimited Pacifics, but no Pacifics. Hi, Zeus. But knowing that the MOW update is somewhere on the horizon, it means that we could get more content and more variety of content before it happens, and we have to throw the save out anyways. So I could see it going either way, and I appreciate both viewpoints. Anyway.
I mean, my whole argument is it's really funny.
It is really funny, I will say that. It's fine.
And also, the way I figure that we're going to do it is we're not going to actually do unlimited Pacifics. We're going to fill the interchange with as many will fit. And then that'll be it. And then they get slowly scrapped over the span of about a week.
It's beautiful. The lone interest hopefully won't kill us by then. But anyway. John K. Lintwork. Tonight on Train Stream, Mark makes a train on a computer. Jersey confuses everyone, and cats do cat things. That's pretty accurate. Darth Alamus, conductor, 30 months. Come on, Jersey. Why did you have to not mention the funny bit until half the people voted? It's fine. Treewalker 93, gifting at 10 memberships. Thank you very much, my friend. MQT Creations, Brakeman, 38 months, blowdown but no linkage. Correct. Beans with the $5, but then retracted the message. Thanks, buddy. And then a second one from Beans. As for the Pacific poll, you would take SP Pacifics. Regrettably, I don't think there is a model of an SP Pacific in Railroader for the game for that, but I agree with you otherwise. If we had to have a Pacific, one of those, something like 2472, so rad. Oh boy. Iron Horse Productions, conductor, 14 months. Hey Mark, hope all is well. You're going to see the big boy in Buffalo. It's going to be foam or nuts. The whole East Coast tour of that's going to be a dumpster fire. But yeah. Colorado Kid, speaking of gelato flavors were you able to get any chance to eat yogurt gelato in Italy? That is the kind of flavor of yogurt you're used to eating. I did have a strawberry yogurt flavored gelato in Italy, and it was really good. So definitely different than like a regular gelato or like a traditional American kind of ice cream, but it was nice. I liked it. Gunpowder! Brakeman 4 months, just renewed your membership. Love the content. Appreciate that. Healy Gymnast 98, gifting 5 memberships. Thank you. ZW8919 sent Stay Hydrated for 550 joules. Still don't know what that means. We'll figure that out at some point. What are you doing, you little goblin? Sorry, Zeus is, again, expressing his opinions that he needs to rub his face on everything on my desk if it maybe means that I will feed him dinner. No, I won't, buddy. Keep that on camera. That little face. He's a happy kitty. Highball Machine Works. If I have 4 Lionel Generals, 2 will be used for polishing turds, and 1 is now a pretty 10-wheeler. How sane am I? Somewhat, but somewhat not, if I had to say. Jamie 7F, Train Sim is Clear Creek, Colorado, and Baldwin, Southern Locomotives on it. Yes, the Clear Creek division, that's a great add-on for that game. That's a fun one to run. I think I did videos on that, like, 4 years ago. Anyway, John Doe, he's here. Fireman, 33 months. Since we can talk about Century of Steam here, I have a question about it. Back in the days we won't talk about anymore. Were you able to make an engine fly into space using a re-rail bug? Will this bug be in Century of Steam? We don't plan to have bugs. So,
no.
So no. That said, the current work in progress of our re-roll tool has been mildly hilarious, but we're working on fixing that.
Well, it works well now.
Most of the time. Which
okay.
the edge cases are largely me having fun and annoying Tristan, I think. But at some point, we do hope to show down the road, because we filmed a lot of like, oh, this bug happened, that bug happened. Someday we'll have a compilation of those things is the desire, but we hope that they don't end up in the game because they would mess up your game experience with something you're not expecting. But anyway, that's all for down the road, of course. So I see you, 75 horse case. There's a place to get pictures and measurements of shovels and a Huber return in one place. Hint, hint. I know. I've told. Hey, you little fucker! we're play fighting now, because Zeus is like, he's like, you're petting me, but now you're petting me too much. Fine, go away. It's very funny. We have a little relationship between the two of us where we like to play fight at each other, and when I'm not paying attention to him trying to play fight, it's not the best for me. So anyways, cat's no longer on the desk, at least. But anyway, I've told my friends that I'm gonna do Old Threshers this year, and it's at like the same time as Rolag. But I really want to come see your stuff too, obviously, because you're wonderful in Durango, and obviously it's gonna be a cool event too. So we'll have to see. I am gonna be limiting what travel I do, regardless, anyways, this year because of gestures and everything. Started looking at flights to get back to Seattle for the Hellbot reunion concert, and I'm like, they're saying that $400 round trips are a low fare now. Everything's messed up, but what are you gonna do? We live in a world and a society. Bingus Bongus! Been a minute, man. You're currently putting a 10-inch sub in your 97 F-150. Gotta have some shenanigans, probably spelled that wrong, in the background. Also, have you seen Proper People's video on the Steam water pump? I have. It was interesting. It was a whole thing. If you ever come back through, or from Average RPG character, if I ever come back through Cincinnati, right across the river is an amazing gelato place. One of the best flavors they have is Biscoff. All right. Noted. Kodachrome, Railroad, something. Sorry, the rest of that just disappeared. You're not necessarily good with Blender, but you can use SolidWorks. Could I make a model in SolidWorks and texture it in Blender? Or do games like Trains and Railroader not take cross-compatible models? SolidWorks is intrinsically bad for making something for a video game. You would have to do so much work to clean up the SolidWorks model in Blender to make it tenable for use in the game that you might as well just learn to make it in Blender, unfortunately. I have heard legends that there will be more CAD-specific tools, like parametric modeling, like you'd expect in SolidWorks, that are coming to Blender, which will help for folks who are more used to a traditional CAD, because Blender is kind of esoteric in other ways. But regrettably, it's, the pathway of SolidWorks to Blender to video game, it doesn't make sense. So, Jordan Freeman 166, will Caboose Racing be in Century of Steam? By venture of there being cabooses and the ability to build your own railroad, I'd wager to say that yes, we'll probably race some cabooses at some point. And Lord knows I cannot wait for that day. But we've gotta get the game there. So let's see. That elbow is further aft of the elbow for that guy, so we need to translate on the Y back to about there'sville. All right, that's all good. And then, so this guy, ooh. Jersey, did you know if Alec modeled the big air brake strainer, or if the EBT engine had it as well?
It did have it, and yes, we model it.
Okay.
It is not like that, though. It does not look like that at all.
Oh, okay, well then I'll make my own.
Yep.
Joyous. I'm sure it's a difference of exactly when the engines got fitted with it. Let's see. So we've got that elbow. We're going to have a T down to go through that strainer into the distributing valve. And that's two up there to see that. This blurry picture shows me the T. All right. Well, we'll take with the blurry picture what we can. All right. So go back to the regular size of that pipe. Bring it out a little bit. With all this, we want to shade smooth, but then with specifically the union halves, we want to mark sharp. Edge, mark sharp, because they're actually hard corners there. Edge, mark sharp. And that'll help with all that fun. And then we've got a T that drops down basically straight in line to the distributing valve. So wherever the body of our T can just kind of end up in there. So we'll sounds help. God, it's been so long since I've made a T. I know Alec has a good system for making them. I don't recall what it is, but that's all right. What we can do is something like that.
It's funny that you mention Alec and his systems, because at this point you know where I am. You know where I am mentally. You know where I am.
I do.
Oh, God. Someday soon.
All right. Well, I did grab that from somewhere else. So. Okay. That's not a half bad way to do it the way I just did it there. So we'll grab all the adjacent guys, we'll separate it by selection. We'll then add a modifier Boolean And we want the union of those two things, and then we'll apply it, and then we'll see if we can click on the other object that still exists. There we go. That one. Delete it.
That one.
That one.
Reset vectors?
Yeah, it added a couple extra vertices that it shouldn't have. I probably didn't have it too properly lined up.
I mean, you just select all control by or merge by distance.
Yeah, exactly. But use a slightly larger distance. Hey, look, 8 vertices gone. That's what we want.
Wow.
Yeah, it like doubled up on everything.
Oh, that's a weird seam there, though.
It is. I'll bevel it and it'll probably be okay.
That's all fine down there. Okay.
Oh, hang on. Where? What manner of dumb
Word.
faces are you trying to do? Oh, it still has interior faces there and there. Which if we get rid of those, then it'll bevel properly, and that'll also probably help with the shading. Kind of a little bit. There's still the hard edge down there, so if we edge select Blender. Blender's like, I don't like how you made that, so I'm gonna make it not select properly. It's fine. All right, we can do. I don't know, 1 step's probably fine. It's not like you're gonna see this T from anywhere else, so it doesn't need to be like exquisite. Okay. There's that. Let's see. So then we shrink back down to be a normal pipe-sized pipe. And we've got a union elbow into that lower segment there. And I have... How did we manage that? I was wondering why that was goofy looking. It's like, hang on, we have a 9-sided pipe. How did we do that? It's fine. We merge all these down the center and it'll fix itself. Cursor to selected. We'll add another cylinder. Again, it's going to be 8-sided. We don't want it to be quite that big, though. We want it to be more like just barely slightly larger than the pipe. No. Okay. Elbow, comma, union-ish. And we can see that we missed our target. You've turned off your targeting computer. Okay. And now we shade smooth that, and then we go through and mark those sharp. Edge. That one. That one.
That one.
Mark sharp, mark sharp. I don't know if I did too few steps on that elbow or not. No. See what they say when we review it. That big casting is not something that I want to tackle today. So that's going to be annoying, and I'm going to need more reference for it. So we can kind of continue on. Zeus! Hi, buddy. Hi. What are you doing? He's being very helpful. He's like, why won't you feed me dinner? You don't love me. It's fine. Oh. Alright, Zeus. Let's conduct.
Hey, fly on birds.
I was hoping he would swat. He's sometimes like, yes, like that. Very helpful boy. He's like, no, Daddy, love me. It's dinner time. No, it's not. You got an hour to go, buddy. Do you see this boy? Okay. Thank you, Texas Giant 2028, for the 50 gifted memberships. We should probably go back. Yes, buddy. Hi. Why don't you stream at this hour? Because the cats need to be fed. Let me, No, okay. Now we touched the baton. Now it's playtime with the baton, even if I leave it alone. Okay. Well, while I annoy the cat, we might as well do top chats. Hi. Hi. Oh my goodness, Yoshi Po. Oh my goodness, Yoshi Po. Yoshi Po. Hi. Hi. Oh, now you're gonna pay attention to it because I set it down? Welcome to Cat Stream. Bonk.
Yay.
My mom's given me so many great cat toys, but this is the best one, clearly. Somebody's just gonna have to send another set of birds so that I can conduct the cat, apparently. Okay. Top chats. Yes, Zeus. Hi. Treewalker93, since I believe it doesn't get attention it deserves. If you caught Matt Renier's Off the Rails episode last week, what are your thoughts on the nut job that apparently has it out for them? Let me see. I do try and listen to their podcast. I haven't listened to all of the recent ones. I am partway into the Responsible Rail Fanning episode, so I'm like a episode and a half behind. Yeah, the nut job that's out for him, I guess that's the most recent one. So I've not heard it yet, but that feels like something that is unfortunately almost unilateral in the industry. And people going to be weird, unfortunately. I'll have to watch and listen to the episode at one of these points when I've got some time. Obviously, I've got more travel coming, so there may be opportunities for it. Oh my god, dude. Anyway, Jordan Freeman, lucky for you, your cats don't bring gifts from outside like yours. They normally bring in chipmunks. In the past 2 weeks, they've brought in 4 chipmunks, some alive, some dead. My childhood cat, Fergus, who's a very good boy, was a murder goblin and used to do that sort of stuff. But he also would get into fight with raccoons and win. Murder Hobo the cat. he was delightful and very sweet in his old age. But yeah, our kitties are indoor only, so yeah, no outside treats. As much as that drives them nuts. Not Zeus. Hades wants outside. Zeus goes outside and then, you know. So anyway, that simulator guy, fireman, 8 months. Guess who's a new trainee brakeman at the Sumter Valley Railroad? Congrats. Excellent. Somehow your hopefulness you gave on the way to Durango is apparently enough to get you in there, so here's to a new chapter in life. Excellent. Go do the thing. I was hoping to go see Sumter, but I think I'm going to have to miss that one this year. But what are you going to do? Where did chat go? YouTube, please. Indominus Rex 315. Brakeman 22 months. Heist reminds me of Alex Roshan? I don't know who that is. Should I know who that is? Alex
I have
Roshan?
no clue who that is.
Alec Rockhon? I don't know. Kodachrome Railroad videos. Can you elaborate on cleaning up the model? You're not too familiar with what I mean by that. SolidWorks and all associated parametric modeling programs are not good at making the skin of the model that you need when you're talking about something for a video game. Like polygons and tri-count is a big key thing. And so you go and make a dedicated, like, okay, it makes the most sense to use this many tries for the boiler so that it looks smooth, but not overly smooth. SolidWorks is going to put a bazillion, gazillion, trillion points in between each one of these, making, you know, your boiler in SolidWorks. You could model this same boiler. It's 1,600 tries in Blender. It would be probably 500,000 or 1 million in SolidWorks brought into then Blender, which would be a pain to unwrap and texture. So you have to clean it up. And you know it's faster than cleaning that up? Making the boiler from scratch in Blender. That's what I mean. SolidWorks is very, very polydense because it's all about truly accurately representing what the thing is totally, such that a machine could then cut that part out in CNC. These things, you know, for a video game, you can't do that. You don't need it to be that accurate because there's visual tricks with normal mapping and the way that you texture things to make something that is not truly a perfect circle look like a perfect circle. And that is a very finite balance, and a lot of where a big part of the skill in 3D modeling comes, in terms of 3D modeling in this way, which is very, very different than what you do in SolidWorks. So anyway, that's what that means. Hopefully that makes sense. Barrage Balloon, Conductor 40 months. 40 months time is fake. Time is fake. Indeed. Dominus Rex 315. Heist, if you see this, you remind me of Alex Roshan. We're here to do it twice. Who is this human? Do we look up this human now? Who is
I guess
Alex Roshan? He's a voice actor. Okay.
Where's he?
He's a Canadian voice actor. Actually, quite close in age to me.
Somebody's got to go back and get
and I can see the facial things in the beard and the brown hair. I can see your comparison there. What is he known for? Filmography? Is that what you look for with a voice actor?
Filmography?
Shrug?
Yeah, I guess.
That Google search is gonna apparently time out. It's fine.
Nice. You didn't have enough RAM. All right, you need to download more.
Dude, I've still not been able to get RAM single tier. Not that
I'm very happy I got mine when I did, because holy shit.
Yeah. He's known
I could sell my computer for like $8,000 right now.
You could. The Amazing Digital Circus, Poppy Playtime, and Wild Smoke. Okay. I've not heard of any of those things, but yes, I see your comparison. Texas Giant 2028, Brakeman 5 months, howdy, and then dropping the set of birds. Thank you very much, my friend. That's very appreciated. The Colorado Kid, you look at all these toys I got for the cats. Zeus and Hades, stick. Yeah, well, Zeus likes the stick. Hades is more picky about everything, which is entertaining. So yeah. Charlie Shepard's pup. Where 4884's day. If I can avoid making a 3D model of the big boy for the rest of my years, I'll be a happy man. That sounds like something that I would hate to model to this level. Dan the Mechanic, gifting 10 gift memberships, thank you. And Michelin Man, 8592, Breakman, 17 months. Looks like fun is being having today. We're doing more piping, so it's all fun. It's all fun. All right, let's see. Back to my blurry picture. Back to a different picture. So the brake pipe. Where does that? Does it T yet again up there? Or is that T? That might be that T. Let's take a look at it. So you've got this pipe here that tees up and goes through the floor. It's a union T, and then goes around to the other side of the distributing valve. This is our brake cylinder line, and its gauge line. And so that strainer that we're seeing is down there in the other image. Which means, judged by the arrangement of those two pipes there, I can actually see that this is main res, and that's brake pipe. So that's brake pipe that then goes up to the brake stand with a T and then drops down and presumably heads aft to the rear of the locomotive to head to the tender. So that pipe then, I guess we'll figure out kind of exactly how we've got it here. It's quite tucked in at the back there. We're in a rat's nest of plumbing, as it were. Because, yeah, it almost comes all the way over to there. And then it's got a union T. Let's see. Steal our T that we made here. And we can add a union half to the one side of it. Y90. Okay, well that means that I've put that a little too close to the wall there. Definitely tucks in pretty close, because then it's going to go up to the automatic. At least I'm pretty sure it'll run vaguely straight to the automatic there. So yeah, union half. Which, how many around do we have? We are 8 around right here, so we can just cheese it real nice by grabbing all those guys and scaling them in every direction except that, and then we can grab all these verts down here. There's our big union collar. And then we can grab all of these guys in the middle here and just simply extrude them straight down in the Z. There's the other part of the union half. We could do build a face, do an inset on the face, and then that is, yeah, great. Okay. This is then our pipe that is going to go sneak down and out. And it has to dodge something. Something that is hidden in the frame of the locomotive. So it does kind of a steep, this guy. Then drops back down. I'll have to clean up that geometry a little bit. But yeah, then presumably it tucks in and goes underneath there. Which I probably have more reference images of somewhere. If I had them. It's fine. We're going to want to put more resolution on that. Okay. That looks like it makes some semblance of sense. Jordan Freeman, need RAM, go to a Dodge dealership. Limes. 75 horse case, bit of a brainwave for a DLC idea. If traction engines are put in, what's to say that a DLC puts them to work in doing final mile hauls, an alternative option to move freight and many other uses? That's an interesting idea, because there is a narrative purpose for that kind of thing that existed in reality. And obviously, like, that excites those of us of that persuasion. But again, that's outside of scope to start. But you said DLC, and so, you know, I wouldn't immediately say yes. I wouldn't immediately say no. Because it, Zach, didn't the EBT have kind of like crazy tram lines and stuff that went up and over the hills to bring?
Yeah, they did.
It was like to bring ore closer to the railhead, or
I believe it was Clay. There was the big one was, you know, where the Colgate Grove Y is now. There was a tramway that took, as far as I know, full size cars up, like dragged it by a winch up the hill, loaded it, and sent it back down. And that was off the tail of what is now the Colgate Grove Y. And I think there was a couple of other things like that.
So there's interesting narrative pieces therein to think about in that way, where it's like, oh no, that there is more to the end of transport on the railroad than you'd think, right? So there's interesting to be like, oh no, maybe there's some smaller customer that, okay, yeah, the traction engine picks it up the team track and then takes it back. Like there's interesting thoughts narratively to have there. It's just not something that we would be prioritizing game-wise, right? You know, at the outset. But an interesting idea for sure. Because Lord knows it would be fun to play with traction engines too. But you know, it's a train game first and foremost, right?
Yep.
So let's see. Yeah, scope creep is it's a very important thing, you know. Inside of you are two demons in your comments, and half of them say, "Give me the game now. Why are you holding it from me?" And the other half say, "You know, add in literally physically everything that you possibly can." And it's like, you gotta land in the middle. You have to have a defined scope, which we've written down. You complete that. That's the thing, you know. And then you can talk about potentially interesting extracurriculars and all that. So, Willie Fleet, Brakeman.
There's a canyon for that.
There is a canyon for that. Put it in there. Brakeman 46 months. Plumbing. Yes, it is plumbing today. I think that whole extrusion that we did somehow got goofed up, so I'm just gonna delete it and come from the bottom instead. Vertices, and then we can just inset a new guy. Like that. Yay. Okay, I need to look at the diagram real quick because I'm looking at what it looks like through the cab floor. And I think it's that one with the double heading valve. That would make the most sense, because I think that's all main res air there with the quad T. And then that feeds the feed valve. Yeah, and then, okay. I think that's it, but we'll double check it. So with the stand clocked, God, with the governor, okay. That was the thing that screwed me up when I was helping Alec with the 6ET on those engines. It's that the diagram shows the valve as you look at it from underneath, and that kept throwing me off. So it's main res takeoff closest over here to the big middle plug, and then brake pipe is over. Okay, so it is that. So we can yoink our brake pipe through the floor, and then it's got a union just past the edge of the floor, and then it goes up and it goes to the double heading valve, and then it's got another union right below the stand. Typical. Okay. So I guess what we can do... Does my pipe have good geometry down there? Yes, it does. Okay. So we can simply yoink that through the floor and see that it comes out way too at the wrong part of the floor. It should be way tighter to the back head. Which means that all of this mess basically needs to go more like that. And it might need to parallel the back head a little bit further. It is somewhat canted, because of course it is. Because, fuck you, that's why. It's not canted enough visibly for me to confirm it, though, so what we can assume is that it comes up through the cab floor, and it is kind of on a goofy angle, and it's tighter to the back head, so what we'll do is we'll go down and we'll extrude again, and we'll try and make it follow the contour of the back head a little bit. It's right above the cab floor that it has the union, though, so it's like right there'sville. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and orthogonal to itself so the geometry is all good. Make sure that we have only those selected, and then we want to make a face so that it'll extrude in its own plane. That's good. We'll extrude once, make it a little bit larger. Got the bottom half of the union, extrude again, make it bigger again. There's the union collar itself, inset, rinse, repeat, kapow, inset again. There's the pipes, there's the union, just that simply. Grab all those edges. Except for not those ones, but also those ones. Would you rather have unlimited edges or none edges? And mark them all sharp. Okay. And then it comes up, and we'll kind of have to figure out exactly how we want to... This pipe is doing... God, I remember. I was there, Gandalf, a million years ago. 3,000 years ago. I remember when we first started going through this brake stand, and how much of a leaking sieve it just was. And that being a joy. It looks like we don't have this hex collar whatsoever, so we'll just get rid of it. But yeah, this brake stand is such a knotted mess of pipes that are so tight together that it's just, everything is fighting to get it out of everyone else's way, and it makes it quite obnoxious. But anyway, put the cursor on the selection. We will, oops, don't do that. We will add a cylinder, 8-sided, a little bit smaller. Yep, great. Because this comes down and out of there real brief like, and then it immediately goes into another pipe union, which we want to get the first little chunk there, and then the big collar, and then the little small guy, and then there's the brake pipe. And it runs for approximately, you know, like an inch, and then it's immediately into the double heading valve. All right. Unionify the union. Oh, every time. Edge. Mark sharp.
All right, it's dinner. I'll be back.
Roger that.
Hopefully.
I didn't make that nearly the right size, did I? Oh well. We can fix that. Because, yeah, Dan had this set up differently. This is Dan's automatic brake valve. use the stuff from the pros while you can, right? No sense in remodeling a brake valve that we've already got. Okay, so we've got plenty of appropriate valves out here. So we can just kind of grab one. Making sure we grab, like, all of it. If we can. We'll grab its friend. I think they're basically the same anyways. Alright. I will take a look at top chats in just a second, everybody. Okay. That is all that valve. I think... Ooh, I think it's got some double geometry. I think the entire thing was double geometry. Oops. Should probably double check that. It's fine. And regrettably, it's like at a funky angle to clear other crap. Do I think I keep that separate, and I want to rotate it in object mode. It's probably not 30. RZ 20 degrees. Kind of keep that all happy there. And then that is actually the valve handle itself. Oh, but we need to put its origin where it makes sense for its origin to be. So we'll select those 4 vertices, we'll put the cursor on them, and then when we're in object mode, we can now set the origin to the 3D cursor. And if we... Can we locally... Oh. We know that that's true, so we wanted to do RY 90, RY minus 90, and then rotate Z 20. There's your brake stand not cut out. And true to form, we'll see if I have to saw the valve shorter or not, because we had to. Anyway, the brake pipe now needs to tie into that. So we know that it does not actually slope nearly that bad towards the back head, because it can't. And instead it must somewhat be kicked that way. Okay. Okay. we're gonna end up putting a lot more bends in this here pat. But that's largely that connection. Good lord. All right. All torch bent garbage. Okay. And valve. I should probably name it, and then we can go from there. Oh. Where is that in all of the things that are hidden? There we go. Yep. Double heading valve. Cool. So that's what you cut out when you want to prevent the automatic from affecting the brake pipe. You cut that out by putting it in line. A sawed-off valve. Love it. Kinky. Yes. Very good. Okay. Let us take a look at these top chats here. Epsilon R, related question. Can we drive the Model T motor on the road off the rails like did IRL? You'd love to pop on the steering wheel. Again, train game. Would that be neat? Yes. Is that a totally different thing that we probably shouldn't spend time on? Also, yes. Treewalker 93. So how long do we start drawing a certain Uinta engine in SolidWorks, or is that still a hope and a dream? Oh man. That's down the road, my friend. We got to start building a certain 240 first, which, yeah, need to do more on that. But what else are you gonna do? Indominus Rex 315. If Heist sees this again, Pomni from TADC would be an LMS Fowler class 3F. Okay, great. Dak I. Miller, if you had to pick a favorite standard gauge engine, what would you pick? 40 for 49. I have one of those listed. Also, earlier you said 20 is the most difficult loco to operate. Why? Fewest drivers, worst adhesion, most boiler pressure. Well, comparing 346 for 20, she's slick, and it makes for a fun challenge. 346 and 491 are easy. So, Kyle Crowley, Connector, 13 months. You've been waiting for the MOW update as well to get back into Railroader. Finally gave up because we wanted to hang out with friends. So, anyway. Yeah. 75 horse case was also a secondary use to keep one making revenue outside of peak ag seasons. Plenty of photographs of engines out freighting. As far as the game goes, it's completely understandable. That's so cool. That makes sense. Kodachrome Railroad videos. How is steam locomotive's horsepower measured, and how do you increase it? Also, does a locomotive's boiler pressure affect horsepower and tractive effort? If so, which of the two is more affected? Goodness. Truly doing the calc for horsepower out of a steam engine, I haven't actually done that calc personally. I can tell you without a doubt that it comes from how fast can you spin the crank and how many times a second can you do that action, and then how much you get out of the engine. But I've not actually gone through and done the horsepower calculation for the engine. I'm sure it's just a simple formula online. But the challenge with it and why it doesn't make a lot of sense is that you need to run the engine really fast in order to get a big horsepower number. And when you're running the engine really fast, you don't get enough steam to actually continue producing max force. So your force curve starts to go down by the time you're spinning the engine enough times to get a high horsepower number, right? Which is why it doesn't make a ton of sense to use horsepower to talk about what a steam locomotive can and can't do, because horsepower is not a measure of what you can and can't do. It's a measure of how fast you can do it, as it were, right? Torque all day, no horsepower means you're doing it slow. Torque all day, high horsepower means you can do it quick, right? So, boiler pressure is going to affect both, right? Because for your horsepower calculation, less power or less force on the piston means you get less force in your equation the whole time, so you're lowering the whole thing. But it also affects tractive effort directly, because boiler pressure is directly one of the few variables within that calculation. Does it affect one more than the other? Shrug. Horsepower is kind of not helpful to talk about with steam engines for the reasons that I just discussed. Tractive effort makes more sense to discuss with a steam locomotive. So, yeah, all that. Hopefully that helps. Colonel Tooth, or Colonial Tooth, one of the two. SFS with Brett, 491 launch water through the safeties. We probably should tell that story at some point, actually, as a dedicated video. When shrug. One true nub, Brakeman, 34 months. How in the name E.H. Harriman has it been 3 years? Well, you've still got 2 more months to go, but yeah, definitely close. Conktech, Heist, has there been any back-end work on building Montezuma that we're not privy to? Not really, unfortunately, no. There's been a lot of discussions, but there's not been actual physical things because of the gestures and everything else that's been going on. It's been hard to front burner that project on my end and on many ends. Dat Guy Miller, what about one favorite standard gauge diesel? I have one of those. Personally like the Vickers diesel electric type 2 COBO. It's probably pronounced Kobo. I don't really have a favorite standard gauge diesel. I like the streamline stuff, but an E or an F for a specific one or the other, shrug. There's a lot of neat stuff out there, but there's none that I'm like, yep, that's pinned up on the wall as the favorite. 75 horse case. How much for a percent of ownership in the 240 partially satire? We'll have to look into what all that looks like when we get to the nonprofit section of all that and how that works out. So, but yes, I appreciate the partial satire there. Okay, I need to run and use the restroom. Jersey's unfortunately not here for lightning round, but maybe he will return while I'm gone. Shrug. If not, enjoy the music. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm returned. I guess Jersey did not come to entertain you guys. How dare him be reasonable and eat dinner. But anyways, I'm back. I did check the time when I was going up. Got maybe 30 more minutes for stream, regrettably. And then it won't be another stream until probably next Tuesday. But beyond that, we'll get into more fun streams. And Lord knows we've got 4 years of channel members coming up. Christ. That'll be a fun one. But start ruminating on what you guys want to do for that. That'll be fun. I see that Contech upgraded to a fireman while I was gone, and thank you very much for that. And Alec has joined us.
Hello.
Hello, friend. Oh God.
I'm here for 282s.
Yeah. Yes, the Mikadoos.
The Mikadoos.
I touched a button and I didn't want to do that. Don't do that to me, Blender. It's fine. Brake plumbing.
Blender.
Everyone's favorite.
You're on that today.
Yep, that was
In
where I was
advance,
at.
I'm sorry.
That was where I was at before I left, and that's where I'm at now that we're back. And I will probably continue being stuck on brake plumbing for a little while, because that's just what it be.
It is a very unfun part of it, but very important part of it too.
Naturally. Thankfully, it looks like the next little segment of it is not going to be so terribly bad, because this pipe comes up to basically right there, and then what we can do is we can basically borrow some of the geometry from the brake pipeline to make some of the main res line. Have I not noted? Did I? Oh. When I drug back that whole situation, I drug it back into the independent line, and I didn't notice. Oopsie. Uh-oh, Piscatios. Honestly, it looks like my independent line was in the wrong place anyway. So, let's fix that. The annoying thing is I think that the cutout in the cab is vaguely in the right spot. Oh, but it is, of course, more monkey than not. So we can fix that real quick.
Gotta love the Rio Grande and their creative pipe work.
The Denver and never lay the pipe straight Western. Yeah.
No.
Why make pipe straight when torch go burr? Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Got Scam Likely trying to call me right now. It's mildly annoying. Getting a free hand vibration. Because these pipes are pretty tightly
that's
yoinked together.
Yeah, that's
Worse than that, though.
certainly interesting placement. I gotta wonder why they packaged everything so tightly. There's room to breathe under there, it looks like.
Yeah, there is more space.
There is a lot of space.
They didn't have to do it the way they did it, but they did. And I do somewhat wonder if a lot of that came from when they converted from from A1 to 6ET. Because
I did not know that these things had A1.
They were built with A1, so I get to make 2 brake schedules. Yeah, really
Gotcha.
thrilled about that.
Oh, at least A1 is fairly simple.
That's true. A1 is easier.
Yeah, compared to 6ET.
All right. That looks kind of properly squingled. All right. So now we can steal these vertices. separate it so that we can join it to the other selection there. Jimmy, I swear to God. I look up at the screen and there's a pun from one James Patterson. Patterson? Thanks, Jimmy. Take a look in the top chats in just a second. Hey, look, another fitting. Another one. That's starting to look a little bit more proper. And then there's a different brake clamp that goes there, but it's not all of it. And it goes pretty tight to that side of things like that. But it dies about right there. Doesn't grab the independent line because it can't. Because this locomotive was plumbed by monkeys. Monkey. There we go. That's starting to look. That's starting to look like this fucked up thing.
Oh, geez, that is just a spaghetti nest of pipes.
Yep.
That is awful.
My favorite part about the whole thing is that, like, they decided to just not care when they went to plumb the dump valve, and the dump valve they just made into a hose, a braided steel hose. Yeah, this right here. It's like, you could have just kept the thing going, and then, oh no, they made it into a hose, and then unioned it back in. Just
what? Why? Very cool, Railgram, but why? Pray tell.
Monkey. It's fine. Yep, we love the dangerous and rapidly getting worse. All right, let's take a look at these top chats real quick here. Sukanea, hi. How would you do a live Steam-sized ES&D decal for a boxcar? I have seen our decals on live Steam equipment, and they look pretty good. But yes, we absolutely would. We'll have to get to that at some point. New IKB! Brakeman, 24 months. Happy 2 years. When in doubt, watch Poldark. Okay. Noted. Steel City in Lake Erie. If DNRG ever stopped narrow gauge steam, would we have seen a Berkshire or bigger at some point? They did talk about and had proposals for a 2882. I think they had 3 or 4 different proposals for 2882s. And they had a proposal for a 482, as well as a bigger K37, which I think is my favorite.
The bigger K37 is really cool. When we learned about that,
it would have been
quite something.
In some ways,
been closer to a K41 or something, right?
Right.
It was big.
In some ways,
really
it would have made more sense than what they ended up doing. Because you'd have...
It fixes the ash pan.
It fixes the ash pan, and it gives you a bigger engine, but the bigger driver's kind of unnecessary. And I guess they probably prioritized keeping the running gears as similar as they could. So,
I mean, are you going to say no to 47-inch drivers, though?
That would be so cool. That would be very lizard-worthy. 47-inch driver Big K instead of 44. And getting more...
Really cool if they'd built it.
More out of it.
It's a real shame.
It was literally... It was a proposal to use the same boiler as the K37, but then, raised it up by just a little bit, inch and a half, because of the size of the driver diameter difference. But an inch and a half is more than you have back here. So, could have been cool, but I guess they wanted to keep the running gears more similar. And I bet they ran into problems with fitting foundation brake gear and everything in there, which is still something that I have to do. It's very naked underneath down here. And Lord knows that somebody, probably me, is going to 485 one of these things into a turntable pit, so it better have all the stuff underneath. I don't envy your present challenge, as you can't really see the brake shoes on this engine because outside frame, but yes, inside frame.
But also,
not.
It's still something you're eventually gonna have to do. It's gonna suck.
Oh, totally. I'm aware. But hey, that's the whole thing, right? We'll get to it at some point, hopefully.
Yep. eventually.
Okay, so we've got that elbow. Oh god, I didn't finish the top chat. Sorry. Lizard. James Patterson, Jeep fan. There it is. Fireman, 47 months. The plumbing design was just a pipe dream in somebody's head. Limes. Matt the Outcast. How did the K-27s get the nickname Mud Hens? They're your favorite Rio Grande narrow gauge engines, specifically the 455. God, I cannot speak today. 455 is such a goblin of a locomotive. I can understand why people love it so. From what I gather from, very, very legit sources such as Little Engines, Big Men, which this is one of the things that I would actually believe from this book. Yes, I know I need to finish that too at some point. Anyway, was that the 27s were so big and so much bigger than everything else that was there that they really did a waddle, particularly with the extra width that they had over anything else and the system not having upgraded its track yet. The lightweight rails led to a lot of issues for the 27s early on, and as such, they ended up waddling in the mud like a hen. So I've always heard that mud hen comes from, well, the 27 fell into the gauge once again because it splayed the rails apart because it was God's heaviest engine when it arrived. And as such, the mud hen, there it is, bathing in its own crap. That's what I've always heard. I don't know how much true credence there is to that, but with those kinds of nicknames, a lot of times there may never be the true full credence story out there. So it's hard to say,
It's hilarious how it was way bigger than everything else on the Grand System at the time, and then a couple decades later, 37s come along and just I did not realize how much larger the big Grand, like the K56 and 37, are over a 27. They are tiny by comparison.
The big Ks are big. They are big, big, big. It's a huge matter of perspective. Yeah.
Oversized Mikados hauling cars from the turn of the century.
did make for a funny image. Not quite as funny of an image as a DL 535 pulling a 3000 series boxcar, if you ask me.
Oh my word! Yep.
Well, that made Theo laugh. So, welcome Theo and Tristan as well to the chat for the towards the end of the stream here. From Fuddrucker, Sup Heist, did you know that there's a YouTube channel called the WNCRR making a mod for Raritor that has the DM and IR M4 Yellowstone number 227? It's not done yet, but it will be soon. Yes, I've chatted with them before. They're a wonderful group of folks out there. Group? Yeah, I cannot speak today. That's what I get for not live streaming for a month and a half. Anyway, I have seen the Yellowstone is on approach, and that's very exciting because, big chooch. Strasbourg number 90, thanks for the $2. The message got retracted. Shrug. And then the Trekkie Gaming, Brakeman for 1 month from last stream, moved to Durango, became a carman. Congrats. Guys in the car shop there are wonderful. I don't know everyone by all means, but I know several of the guys, and a lot of them I've been friends with for a very long time. So good crew of guys there. I hope you enjoy and learn as much as you can and stay safe doing it, because sometimes car work can get quite involved. So a lot of jacking of equipment and cars. So that's always something to keep in mind in your safety's sake when you're doing stuff like that. Let's see. So we can steal this fitting again that we already made. Already made it, so might as well steal it. Separate it by selection. Oh. And then confuse Blender by clicking too many times. Join
Such
it there.
is the way with Blender.
Yeah, pretty much. Feels good to be moving vertices again. Feels good to be working on the video game again, honestly, because I've not... If you're a member of the channel, you've seen how much content has come out recently for members first. It's been a bit of the YouTube focus recently.
We're happy to have you back.
I hope so. I want to be working on some other things, but Tristan and I will need to chat with you about some Unreal shenanigans
Oh boy.
when I'm done. So I don't know what went on with all these vertices here. Couple too many extra ones. That's what's going on there. Try and clean that up a little bit. If the individual who was asking about SolidWorks and cleaning up models, this would be another thing that SolidWorks would not give you nicely, is good geometry and topology, which is honestly like the biggest key in Blender and probably the thing that takes the most time to learn, that I still have much to learn about, is keeping everything kind of set up and done right. And SolidWorks doesn't have any tooling to help with that sort of thing at all, because that's not what it's trying to do. As such, you can't really rely on the topology that SolidWorks would spit out at you whatsoever, unfortunately. So,
great program for doing CAD stuff and 3D print stuff and everything of a mechanical nature, but when it comes to video games, Blender wins.
Yeah, if you're gonna CNC machine something, then SolidWorks. But if you're trying to make a model that you want to be performant in a digital space, it's absolutely the wrong tool.
Yeah, and conversely, like if you want to do 3D printing or CAD stuff with Blender, you can, but it's incredibly painful. Ask me how I know.
Lordy. I love the slight inconsistencies that are everywhere because of the Rio Grande just being a bunch of chimps.
Yep, that'll be there's no such thing as like railroad standard anything, certainly with the Rio Grande.
Yeah.
Seemingly, at least.
So I'm just gonna ignore the fact that they probably torch bent that pipe to be stupid, because we're gonna try and not make it entirely chimp theory here. Oh, and that pipe. Okay. It's interesting that you can tell different things from different avenues. That means that that guy must be a lot further that way, and it must be a lot closer there, so that's got to be like slightly angled. Because of course. Because why wouldn't it be? And then we've got another Union T that then flips. X180. Let's see how far we can get with this. And then we need to... The T is then kicked, like, obnoxiously so. I think this is one where it's not worth it being manifold, so I'm just going to merge those at center and call it a day. Especially with it being right at the floor like that. And, God. Oh, piping.
Yeah.
So, this is the main res line. This leg of the T then turns and heads, I believe, to the other side of the distributing valve. I think in that top slot, I want to say. Let's take a look at the chart. Yes, that is precisely where that goes. So it goes yoink around to there. And then this chunk of the universe. Oh, it obviously has to be angled slightly different than that. Otherwise we will have a clearance problem. Which again, that was what I was alluding to earlier when we were originally checking this thing for leaks. Just utterly messed up, disgusting network of piping that you tighten up something and then it makes something else loose because everything is just trying to run into everything else. But I believe that this is closer to the back head too. I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to make sure that this all doesn't look too squingled in the end, but we're just trying to get the basis of things to line up. But yeah, that then goes to the feed valve rack, and the feed valves, we don't have the more modern feed valves made, which by the time these things got 60T, they probably had. And then we get everyone's favorite, this is the pipe that caused the problem with the brake stand, swoopy pipe that goes up from this T and goes into the quad fitting, into a union into the H6. The quad fitting then being for the drag flanger, which I guess potentially I will have to model as a optional as a T or the quad fitting. Because if you didn't want to use a drag flanger, you wouldn't need that. It's not all of them were equipped. And it is somewhat hilarious to me that 491 is equipped with a drag flanger line, because she never had a snowplow. So what are you going to do going flanging when you don't have a plow?
Good question.
The railroad. The Denver and Rio Grande Western. Limitless intelligence. What does Buzz Lightyear say? No sign of intelligent life anywhere. Yeah, make a face. That way it'll extrude orthogonally for the 2 femtoseconds that we're going to have that do anything correct. No, I should probably make this pipe out of curves. I probably shouldn't lazy this pipe.
You can also bridge edge loops, which is another really fun way of doing it.
Right. I was trying to remember how you did pipes, because I was making the first T, and I was like, I remember Alec had a way to do this, and it's been a month and a half.
Yes,
but you could
just duplicate that edge loop, and then you grab the 2 edge loops, like move it to where you want it to terminate. So,
right.
Shift D.
Yeah.
To duplicate it.
And then you use bridge it. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way. Because this pipe is...
for a complicated curve like that, yeah.
It's so in the view of you as the engineer that it's got to look good.
Yeah.
But it comes up here. That quad fitting is...
You want it to look authentically Rio Grande.
Yeah. So the quad fitting is... The bottom of the quad fitting is just above that bottom ridge there in that valve. And then this, it should just be straight under the H6. Right where that takeoff is. Oh, which means that it's like way inboard there. Oh, lordy. Okay, well we can finalize that position as needed. Yeah, that's absolutely why this one ducks out the way so much more.
Mm-hmm. That is goofy.
Yeah, because then this...
It does the swoop.
Yep.
I'm back.
Hello, back.
Welcome back. Hey, Jake.
And Jake's here. Everyone's showing up right as I'm gonna have to pack up and go to dinner with Leighton. Oh well. Leighton and Brett.
Rip. Yeah, bridge edge loops.
I was here first. Nuh-uh.
Do they just have to be a loop, or is it does it matter if
it
there's
has
a
to be the
face in
edge
there?
loop, and then Yeah, it doesn't matter with the face. So right click, bridge edge loops. You might want to be in edge select mode.
Bridge edge loops.
And then there's a segments on the bottom left in that little menu.
Right.
Number of I think it's
number of cuts.
That one. Yeah, that one. And drag that up. And there you go. And then you could change the smoothness as well. It's set to 1 right now, but if you want to change the profile, you can just drag that around. Make it swoop slightly differently.
Yeah. I don't know. The question is always how many is the right amount?
I go a little bit more cuts when I'm in the cab, and specifically on either the fireman or engineer side.
I think
not so much on the deck, but
honestly, like in order to get the geometry where I want it, where the bend is tightest, like you have to go crazy. So I think I'm gonna go a little bit fewer, and then I think I'll just bevel the two that are kind of at the extreme end.
Either
Wild
that or you
idea
could go...
from someone who doesn't do Blender stuff.
Yeah.
See that center segment?
Yes.
What if you drop an edge loop in the middle of that and do 2 separate combinations from there?
That you could do.
You could do a dual bridge, yeah.
Yep.
But honestly, that
I do that.
I
do that a lot when I have to do like a 180-degree bend, because Blender doesn't like doing full 180, so you kind of have to inform where you want it to go with a halfway cut, and so that's what I do for anywhere there's just a really tight full circle bend, like the steam gauge thing on the locomotive I'm currently looking at and working on.
The swoop-D, the hidden swoop-D.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Honestly, that looks about right though. So.
Yeah, it looks good to me. Yeah.
Good shout. Well, I'm next either going to be doing the... If we keep going that way, it's the quad fitting. I don't think I have enough time to properly finish anymore. And there's still top chats that I need to go through. So, I guess I'll hit those, and then I'll probably work on this some more at some point. Screams.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. All right. Let's see. Where did we land? Oh my goodness. Far away. Paul Gilbert, Brakeman, 17 months, big wave from the UK. I love what you do. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sir L the Fourth. Have I been saying that the wrong time the whole time? Probably. Welcome to the conductors. Jordan Freeman. Is the DNSNG a 501c3? No, they are not. They are a for-profit business. That said, they do a lot of things that matter considerably in preservation senses, but they can do what they want to do to their equipment. So, Colorado Kid. So you did some more stalking on the narrow gauge discussion forum. Does the Colorado Road Museum have more passenger cars that are being restored? We have more passenger cars. They are on the list. They are not being restored right now. We really would love to get some more of the cars restored, but it's a time and place kind of thing. And restoring a wood car that's as far gone as some of the cars are is huge uplifting. To put it this way, Colorado Midland 111's been in the shop at the museum for, I think, 3 years this May, and it's almost done. And it was we didn't touch the interior. The interior was like good. It's just doing some exterior work. It's a slow and big process to do right. But yeah, there's at least 4 or 5 more passenger cars on property that could get the same treatment. 307, 250, the Antonito or the Americana, whichever one it is that's tinted, 168 baggage car, and then the Great Western Combine, which I believe is number 100. I think those are the other wooden passenger cars on property. So, yeah, plenty to do. Sir L. Fourth, any thoughts on 3D printing model trains, either as a hobby or as Studio 346 merch? Would love some HON30/009 American stock. 3D printing trains for production use, even if they're just for static, whatever, is a huge undertaking and probably not something that we would do. But there are certain model train obsessed individuals that perhaps own their own model train company that would be thinking about those sorts of very things. So take with that information whatever you will. Dogboy sent a goat trophy for 1,000 jewels. Still don't know what the deal with the jewels is. 75 horse case should see how crooked and crudely built a Rumley traction engine is. Hair pulling, frustrating how they did things. Why am I not surprised? Highball Machine Works, did the 3-foot have rail guns? I would doubt it. I don't think so. Gun. But
define railgun.
I would assume cannon mounted on a flat car.
Dude, I should show you the clip of the Oahu 282 with a train of them.
Oh, okay. So yes, they did on Hawaii. Fair enough. Every time I go, man, I really don't think that would have happened. Somewhere in history, things were screwed up enough that it did. What else is new?
Stay with me, folks. There's a prototype for everything.
Correct. Cassidy HGR, Fireman 28 months. You really need to get back to Blender, but with Senior wrapping up, either do not have the time or energy to deal with railroad BS. Kerbal Space Program is different. I swear I don't have a problem. When I started playing Kerbal for the first time, it ate my life for several months. It's a great game, so I understand. Matt the Outcast, do you think more members-only movie commentary videos are possible for movies like The General or Unstoppable? Potentially, if it makes sense. That was so fun to do with Glenn, and that was a special case of Glenn is the man that knows and has researched and done all that. And I don't know if there are other people that fit the niche for those films as much as Glenn does for that film specifically. There's plenty of things to think about in terms of movie reaction, but I mean, it's always a landmine of rights and copyright protection and all that. And there was a brief moment in the members only Emperor of the North. It's like, hey, we went back and forth enough times that YouTube says, hey, if they deny your claim, you will get a copyright strike. And with YouTube, if you get 3 copyright strikes, you're out. And so I don't like the thought of my livelihood being put on that thin of a, thing there. So it's hard to argue for those kinds of productions, but I'm always interested in, and there may be avenues in the future. UP1055 Productions, Hearn, Texas. Conductor, 3 months. You saw the UP Rio Grande heritable unit today. It is heritable, yes. Excellent. Glad you saw it. 20,000 nickels, I assume. NKLS. Welcome to the Brakeman. Jordan Freeman, how much for Jersey's hair straightener? That's not an appliance, but they want to know.
I don't have a hair straightener.
Have we moved from appliances to beauty products? What's going on here? It's fine. Herrscher des Funds. Sorry. Welcome to the Brakeman. Dogboy, I don't know what jewels are either. They were free. Okay. Shrug. Dear Mass Cannon. Engineer 36 months. Hello, Birdman. Watching while packing up your apartment. So glad to be graduating college on Thursday. Congrats. Get through and get that final transcript. Well, didn't get a ton done today, but we got some done, and that's more than we can say for the last month and a half. But that's going to do it for this week's edition of 28 Tuesday. I've got to run up to, down to dinner with Brett and Leighton. I've not seen them since I've been gone, and we tried to do dinner last week and it didn't work. So we're going to go do that, and probably also film some content while we're doing things because things, words. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you all next time.